everybody, and welcome back to my pregnancy vlogs. Today we are talking about week 34. Whew. Okay, so week 34. Generally, I think I'm gonna pretty much skip. The format's kind of gonna be changing with how I'm discussing my weeks because at this point I'm going to the doctor every week. So the main focus is just gonna be my doctor's visits. With occasional other stuff thrown in. That's kind of my thought, at least. So for the week 34 doctor visit, this is the one where I've gone and I've done the high-tech ultrasound, which was something that they decided to schedule because of my high amniotic fluid. So, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm off center. Okay, I think that could have helped a little bit. Okay, so, yes, so my high-tech ultrasound, all that meant is I basically went an office a couple floors up, and they have better ultrasound machines. The part that I really wish we could have done better is, so we ended up doing... I ended up having my OB appointment because it was week 34. It was a week where I was meeting with my nurse practitioner, and I had already pre-scheduled all of my appointments. Basically, my appointments have been scheduled through my due date now. I already had my OB appointment scheduled for the morning. So I went in the morning, I talked to the nurse practitioner, who's very sweet. She did listen for his heartbeat, found it just fine. But the appointment was literally like 15 minutes, which kind of stinks because I wanted more information. I did find out there that it is very likely that they will end up, I will end up delivering early, and I'm probably not going to go to my full 40 weeks because... Not because of the amniotic fluid, actually because of my hypertension. And so that's something I kind of wish, I guess it's not a big deal, but it would have been nice to kind of have that information a little bit more up front. Because she did say, you know, usually with hypertension, we don't want to have you go all the way to 40 weeks, which is fine. It honestly, it does not bother me at all. It just would have been like, I feel like a better heads up instead of with the amniotic fluid, me thinking like, oh, that's what's kicking it into high gear. And it's like, oh no, this was kind of a plan since we've known about your hypertension, which they've known about the entire time I've been pregnant. So that's the only thing I learned at my OB visit, or I guess my doctor's visit. Really, we didn't talk about much. My blood pressure and my weight are all fine. And she was just like, okay, and then you'll do your high-tech ultrasound and be good. So, and then of course, because of the way things like to be scheduled out, I had my doctor's appointment was before everybody takes their lunch, and then my ultrasound was after. So I had just enough time to like run to Meijer, get a couple quick errands done, drop it off back home and fill out the paperwork for the high-tech ultrasound, and then come back for the ultrasound. So, I don't know. The scheduling this week could have been a lot better. But anyway, so I go in for the high-tech ultrasound. Everything went fine. Since this was the first time their office was seeing me, they ended up basically doing an entire anatomy scan. Because I guess one of the things that they were looking for, and this is something that the doctor at this office told me, is one of the things that they look for when there's high amniotic fluid, in terms of how baby is doing, is they look to see if like everything's connected basically. So like when he drinks, is his, you know, is everything up here connected to his abdomen? Is the abdomen connected to the cord, and so they're not losing anything. Is it connected to the bladder too? I don't understand exactly all of the little points, but that's kind of what he explained, is just like they have to make sure everything's connected, which is partially why they ended up doing an anatomy scan. That's what they did. It was really weird. So at the very beginning of the appointment, he did really good. He was like moving and everything, because they did do the biophysical points. You know, they made sure he was moving. They made sure he was practicing breathing. He actually had the hiccups. I felt really bad. You just watch him having hiccups during the ultrasound. But he passed everything. Everything looks good, of course, because he's been right on track. And at the very end, though, he started falling asleep, and she needed him to move one more time for some reason. I don't know why. But she needed him to move one more time, and she's like jostling my tummy, and he wouldn't wake up. So she had to use this little like buzzer thing. It was almost like, it was like a very low grade taser almost, that she put towards the bottom of my stomach, and just a quick like zip, and he immediately was like, whoa. And then that was done. So then the doctor came out and he talked to me, and he said kind of the things that they noticed. So they didn't tell me what percentile he was in, which I usually like to know that just for my own sake. But he's measuring about 2 weeks ahead again. And he's also at 34 weeks weighing 6 pounds, 8 ounces. Holy moly. I want to say that's over a pound more than what like all my apps are saying he should be. And the doctor did say he is a big baby. And so based on everything that they're supposed to look at for why I could have high amniotic fluid, being a big baby is just big babies sometimes have more amniotic fluid around them. So I guess out of the 4 reasons he gave, everything's connected, so he's totally fine there. I should do this. Everything's connected. I don't have gestational diabetes, so it's not because of that. It's not because of either of those. He's a big baby, which it could be that reason, or the reason of just they don't know. So, great, right? But you know, it's biology. Everybody's different, so I could just be a person that, like me, and my baby could just be producing more amniotic fluid. So yay. My numbers actually did go down. So week 34, they were at 25. And they did say it could depend. Part of the reason could be because of the position of the baby too. So of course, like, I go into so much stress over what this could mean, and they're kind of like, we're just gonna keep an eye on it. So thank you. I appreciate them keeping an eye on it. It's just funny to me that it's like, you can worry, and like the fact that an entire appointment series can change, or an entire appointment can change because of this thing, and then they're kind of like, well, just kind of have to wait. But otherwise, I mean, they went ahead and scheduled another appointment for me a month out, which I would be week 38 then. And he's like, if you're still pregnant at that point, which I was like, cool. I feel like I have a lot of appointments coming up that are just like, we'll see if you make it. But yeah, so that was basically week 34 is dealing with all of this stuff. I guess the only thing in terms of like symptoms, I've definitely been like really burpy, and also I can definitely tell that he's bigger. Like I can feel it every time I move, every time I'm, you know, walking around, any of that stuff. Like I get tired way easier. So that's That's definitely a thing. I guess, you know, what are you gonna do? Other than just keep trying to move and take breaks. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for week 34. You know, it wasn't completely boring. Just very, it brought down my stress a lot. It really did. I'm just kind of getting to the point where I'm like, you know, I'm ready for him to be here. I'm ready to see him, and I'm ready to be done worrying that any little thing is gonna be a big bad thing. So that's where I'm gonna end it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for tuning into my pregnancy journey. Congratulations to anybody who found out that they are pregnant, or if you've had your little baby. And and I will see you guys next week. Bye.